We met at a party. Immediately I saw him, I thought, oh, he looks lovely, and thought he was the sort of man that I could fall in love with. We did dance together, yes, badly. He proposed in Armscliffe Crag, and we got married 3 months later, and we both felt nothing to wait for, let's go. He was first diagnosed in 2011. I wasn't aware of it, and nor was he really.
Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative condition, meaning parts of the brain become progressively more damaged. It was first formally recognised by Dr. James Parkinson, who wrote an essay of the shaking palsy in 1817. Northern Ballet started running the Dance for Parkinson's scheme as an opportunity for people living with Parkinson's and their partners and carers to dance to alleviate and manage the condition.
For the first few years, the symptoms are very slight, I would suppose. He went to the doctors, I think, because he was dropping peas and things on the floor as he was eating. And the doctor also asked him to write. And his writing, in Parkinson's, your writing becomes minute often, and his was. And the doctor, who is very good, our family doctor, suggested that we went to see a neurologist, which we did, and he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. He had a scan and then was diagnosed. But for about a year before he was diagnosed, people had been coming up to me and saying, what's the matter with Melvin? Is he all right? And of course he's all right. What are they talking about? But of course, with Parkinson's, your face is sort of immobile, and you're not quite as engaged, and you're not moving as I'm moving now, your hands when you're speaking or anything like that. And they were thinking, what on earth's the matter? But living with somebody day to day, you don't really realise.
The most well-known symptoms include shaking, rigidity and mobility issues.
It was interesting because acquaintances had come up and they'd put this really miserable face on and they'd say, how's Melvin? And I'd say, oh, he's fine, thank you, how are you? But it's that sort of attitude that people have because they hear the word Parkinson's and think it is the most horrendous, immediate death sentence almost, I think, by the way they reacted. My family and friends were fantastic. We made the decision to tell everybody. I know there are people who haven't, but particularly as people were noticing there were things that were the matter, he told people at work and we told our children immediately, and everybody was very supportive. You can live a very fulfilled life for many years with Parkinson's. If Melvin is stuck in the house, not able to turning's a difficulty as well in Parkinson's. Parkinson's sufferers tend to do it in very, very incremental steps. But in the dance class, you're shown how to go like that, as you saw at the bar yesterday. And I think that sort of helps. If he's having problems getting off a seat, I can say, pretend you're a flower. So physically, all these things help. And the fact is, if we can, we tend to go out for a walk. But it doesn't always happen, so this is exercise and good exercise and makes him aware of his posture, because you will find with a lot of Parkinson's sufferers that they are curved backed and slouch a bit and don't sit straight, so it also helps with that. Even if it's only for the one afternoon, it's something that goes into the brain as well.
Everybody into your own position.
I'm retired now, certainly, so I have more time to devote, I suppose. Until fairly recently, Melvin was fine, but he had some very bad months, August to December. He changed a lot because he needed a particular drug, and he still now does need. When he was in this state, we had a wonderful person from occupational therapists come to the house, almost like a fairy godmother.
According to Parkinson's UK, side effects of drugs used to treat Parkinson's can include involuntary movements, hallucinations, delusions, compulsive behaviour and issues sleeping.
His life was so difficult at that stage. He was falling, he was hallucinating, he wasn't able to cope, but it was fantastic. I think when he was so ill, I didn't realise what we needed. Our Parkinson's specialist, Dr. Jameson, has been incredible. He has really helped enormously and is very warm and very funny as well. It has a wonderful bedside manner which helps. We can also access at any time the Parkinson's nurses, who will give extra information for anything that we need and can prescribe as well. The class started in September and we missed the first session but have gone after that. And even when he was so poorly, from August to December, we decided that this was sacrosanct, as it were, and we went, and it was amazing. Philippa and Anne-Marie are wonderful, upbeat, brilliant teachers. The course, they've been on a course, and it has been so cleverly thought out, so that the first term we were doing it to music from the Nutcracker, and as you saw when you came to see our ballet class, we were swaying and using our arms and swaying from the seat to the waltz of the flowers. And at the third sway, all these people with Parkinson's who can't get out of their chairs for love nor money on the first go all got up immediately, which was fabulous. We were also mice, if I remember correctly, that first term. And for that you had to put your hands up, shrug your shoulders up high and look at each other with great big eyes. And again, to move the muscles in the face and use expression is fabulous. And now they've introduced voice exercises and things, and also coordination movements and things like that, which are challenging not just for the Parkinson's sufferer, but also the person who's accompanying them. Well, we've been doing last term it was the Nutcracker, because that was the ballet that Northern Ballet are doing. This term we started off doing Romeo and Juliet Prokofiev's, which was wonderful, and also flung into that was music from West Side Story, because it's linked in. And then now we've been doing music from Victoria, which was their latest production, but also we've been doing other fun things like Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, and other things to do the movement. Yesterday it was ABBA, that was the first time we had done ABBA. It is also a wonderful class because everybody who's there is in the same position. You're not in a medical situation, you're in a social situation. So you can talk to each other and you can get support from each other, and you can hear how people are doing, and it really is helpful. I don't think it was overwhelming. I think it was extremely, extremely reassuring that you're not alone doing this, and that you can have fun together. Socially, it's just delightful. We've made friends. We all have a laugh together. Emotionally, it was like, particularly in the those very dark months, it was like a light each week where we could just forget, do the exercise, have the wonderful support of Philippa and Anne-Marie and of everybody else around. And the anxiety, the terrible, terrible anxiety is another symptom. His anxiety was such that we couldn't stay for a cup of tea afterwards, but now we do, and that's lovely as well. It's a huge emotional boost to us both, I think. I think it's very hard sometimes to know what to do. I know that when Marvin was very poorly, I knew I needed help, but I didn't know what help to get. And I phoned the Parkinson's helpline on parkinsons.org.uk. They have lots of advice, lots of help, and there is a helpline, and they gave me pointers. And also a friend who works in mental health actually also gave me some help as to what to do and who to approach. But actually, I think one of the hardest things is that you do not know who to approach. And if you look on the Parkinson's website, and phone and speak to people, that was enormously supportive and enormously helpful. I would also urge them to come to Northern Ballet Stands for Parkinson's, because it helps both the Parkinson's sufferer and certainly the carer enormously to be in that situation.